Another incident, this is part 9, another incident that took place that's of note in early 2021 was there was finally an investigation by the WHO of the origins of the coronavirus in Wuhan. Now, this is a very touchy and complicated topic, but what happened was the WHO had been negotiating with the government of China for quite some time to have this investigation, and then the Chinese basically appear to have been stonewalling. The investigation did happen in March, I think it was February or March 2021. It really should have happened a year earlier, and there was sort of a quality of disingenuousness to a lot of rhetoric that was coming out of Chinese official media. For example, one Chinese epidemiologist said, we're not lazy. But of course, the accusation was not that the Chinese had been sort of taking their time on allowing this investigation because of laziness. The perception was that they were covering up, altering their records and so forth. And that sort of stain of mistrust and suspicion really has sort of colored this debate over the origins of the coronavirus. And of course, at the root of it is the gossip that the virus may have come from a lab leak at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Now, to add to this sort of complicated situation, there's another player at work, and that is an organization called the Eco Health Alliance, which is headed by a fellow named Peter Daszak. And what has turned out to be the case in the ensuing year or so is the Eco Health Alliance was trying to do work on furin cleavage sites and whether these were a factor in, or whether these could be modified, sort of added to viruses. And the argument that the Eco Health Alliance has made is that these applications to do this kind of research were made, but the research was never approved, and therefore it never happened. However, it's a very striking coincidence. Moreover, what also happened was Eco Health Alliance was doing a research in Laos and other parts of Southeast Asia, and I think in Hunan, within China, because there was a bat colony there with which has been researched quite strongly with viruses that are similar to SARS-CoV-2. And the research that was done by Eco Health Alliance on these viruses outside Wuhan, either in Hunan or in Laos, those coronaviruses are the nearest genetic match that we have to the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which is the root virus of the pandemic. And so that research is there are questions around the transparency of Eco Health Alliance and the research that it's done. Now, my understanding is that the difference in terms of evolution of these viruses that were found in Hunan and Laos is fairly significant. I mean, it's not as if they're just one step away from SARS-CoV-2. Nevertheless, there are a lot of lingering questions about the research that was done by Eco Health Alliance, what research was being done at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and finally, to sort of add kind of an extra layer of complexity, Chinese officials, including Liang Weianan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, who is the Chinese equivalent of Anthony Fauci, have claimed that there was absolutely categorically no lab leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and also have claimed categorically that there was no spread of the virus at the wet market in Wuhan, because the theory that's been promoted most by sort of moderate virologists, for example, Peter Emberek of the WHO, is that what happened was this virus jumped from an animal, probably a wild exotic animal, to a human. There are four possible explanations for these kinds of viruses. The first is that there was a jump from animal to human. Second, that there was a jump from one animal to an intermediary animal to a human. The third is lab leak, and the fourth is frozen food, that somehow the virus was somewhere else and brought in on frozen food. The Chinese the Chinese officialdom seems to like the frozen food chain theory the most. They also are promoting, and this is where it gets really weird, the idea that the virus was manufactured, but it was manufactured by a place called Fort Detrick in the United States, which is a virology lab. The bottom line is that there is a lot of opaqueness, and there should be a much stronger sort of examination, first of all, of how all of these virology labs work and what sort of research they're doing. And second of all, there should be sort of a kind of national agreement, international agreement, sorry, to have some kind of authority to oversee this kind of research more carefully than it's done right now.